Maybe I could just have you hold it. Do you want to just hold it?
You want me to hold it? You know, you could do it.
I'm live right now. I'm just trying to figure this. I'm just trying to figure it out.
You could put it right here. This can like hold it up. If you want me to hold it, then that's fine.
I can hold it. We'll see.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Hi. Hello, guys. I'm just gonna get straight to the point. I turned off chat. I know it's been live for a couple minutes. I've been doing very poorly the past week. I've talked about it a little bit on stream. To some degree, I've just been waking up every single day with really bad anxiety. And for those of you guys that have been on the stream for a while or know me, know that I suffer with pretty severe anxiety. I've been dealing with it since probably my sophomore year of high school. So since I was like 16 or so, I'm 20 right now. I've had something on my mind that I really wanted to talk about, but I've never fully talked about publicly. I've never fully explained publicly because it's very difficult for me to talk about. As you guys can probably see, I'm struggling with it. I've been pretty much waking up every single day the past week, and I've just been feeling really bad. I've been feeling very shitty. I'm trying to do this as concisely as I can. Obviously, you guys understand that this is difficult for me to talk about. Basically, the funny thing is, like, going full circle is I'm actually doing something good for myself. I'm doing something that I think can be very good for myself. But to get to that point, I'm going to have to... I wanted to talk about basically why I want to vlog. Why I want to start vlogging. Why I feel like this could be such a beneficial thing for me to do in my life. Not only for myself, but I think that the entire story, my entire story, is worth talking about, not for the sake of myself, for the sake of myself getting it out there, for the sake of myself doing this video log. I think it would be better to have it up front rather than something you guys hear down the line, because I think that you guys will be able to relate with me a lot more if I get it out there up front. Like I said, I've been waking up the past week. I've just been feeling horrible every single day I wake up. I just sit in bed for like 3 hours, like nauseous. I wake up at like 10 o'clock or so, sitting in my room, and I just wake up every single day with like anxiety. I don't know how to... the best way that I would explain anxiety in my case scenario and what I deal with is that I have very bad, very bad anticipatory anxiety, which means you think about what could happen even though you've never put yourself into that situation. You think about what could happen, like what are the possibilities that could happen, even though I've never done a situation. So let's just say, like, I'll give you a really stupid example, but for me this is actually like not a joke. Even just like going outside to go see like a movie or something like that, very difficult for me to do, because I start thinking about like worst case scenario, what could happen, like maybe I'll die there, maybe get shot up, and I know a lot of this stuff sounds stupid. A lot of times I just think about physically having an anxiety attack while I go do something like this, which is extremely scary, that's extremely difficult to deal with. If any of you guys suffer with anxiety attacks, it basically feels like you're having a heart attack, because your brain is just doing laps at a pretty crazy pace. I suffer with anticipatory anxiety, and I very much have a hard time dealing with, I have a control problem as well too, where I want to be in control of everything that's going on in my life. And if I don't have full control over what's going on in my life, I just get really freaked out and overworked and panic, because it's just I feel like I lose control. I'm going to start from the beginning. Like I said, the reason that I want to talk about this is I think that there's a lot of good to come out of this for myself talking about it. And I think it'll help you guys, if I say it up front, understand what this whole journey, I guess, in my life, you'll have a better understanding of where I'm coming from and my perspective, and why I think that even though this is going to be a very difficult thing for me to do, this whole video logging series, that I think it's going to have a really big impact. So I'll just start from the beginning of my high school, my freshman and sophomore year, really back to even 8th grade. I was pretty heavily involved in drugs and alcohol. Nothing that serious. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm doing cocaine or anything like that, or anything above that, but smoked a lot. And I drank a lot. I can't tell you how many times I've just came home completely blacked out, throwing up. One time I literally passed out on the train tracks in my town, and my friend Michael had to pick me up and bring me home. And I would just come home all the time feeling like shit and feeling really bad. And I guess I just got addicted to it, and I was just addicted to it. I hung out around a bad crowd, even though that they weren't necessarily bad people. I was doing bad things to myself, because they weren't bad people. They were not bad people. But I was doing bad things to myself. And that's perspective. But for me, it was not having a good impact, smoking 3 or 4 times a day, drinking till I come home blacked out. And it got to that point basically where my sophomore year, that's all I would do. I just smoke, drink all the time. Smoke, drink, rinse, repeat multiple times a day. I really just thought it was fun. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed doing it. I didn't give a shit. And if I came home really fucked up, I would just deal with the consequences. And I'm just living in my own world. One day, basically, and I know I've talked to you guys briefly about my drug problem, but I've never talked to you guys why it's so traumatic for me. And there is a specific reason. I've talked about this with a few friends of mine, and my family knows, my therapist knows, my brother's over here, and I'll just talk to him before I talk to you guys about it. Because I knew he didn't know the full story too. And it's one of those things where it's you tell people to come out and be honest about it, and come out and be open about it, but as you guys, as it is, it's very difficult to come out and talk about things when it involves yourself, because that's where your emotion lies, that's where everything lies for yourself. My sophomore year of high school, I got involved like I said, I was involved with a lot of alcohol and drugs. I was involved in with doing bad things with bad people, and it got to the point where one day, just so blacked out drunk, so blacked out high, just out of my mind, just completely fucked up, I thought it would be a good idea to burn myself with a lighter. I don't know why. I thought it'd be funny. I thought it'd be kind of cool. I thought it'd be something that would go away. I thought it'd be something that'd be here and there for like a rinse-on tattoo or something like that. It's not. It's something that I have to this day. I'll show you guys. And to you guys, it probably doesn't even look that crazy, to be really honest with you. It just looks like a bad scar on my arm. It doesn't really look that crazy or anything like that. Hopefully you guys could see that. But you know, in the moment or whatever, I don't even remember it hurting. I seriously don't. I was so fucked up. I was so fucked up. I don't even remember it hurting. I came home that day. I put water on it, and I went to bed, and I woke up the next day, and it was just so fucked up. And I'm not talking about like some like stupid burn. Like the thing was like brown, it was green, there was crap coming out of it. It was gross, it was disgusting. And it was a part of me. It was you know, it was on my arm. And I basically went through a very difficult year and a half, pretty much from like a traumatic experience, where I had to deal with the fact that that was something that was a part of me, that's a part of my arm. I mean, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't really look, it really doesn't look like anything that much now, but you know, a very long time ago, it looked really fucked up. I mean, it was green, it was pussing, it was like orange, it was brown. I mean, name all the grossest colors in the world. It was disgusting. And I had to pretty much live with that on my arm for 6 to 9 months before anything ever happened. I had to get treatment for it. I had to get this like fucking shit that you had to fucking put on your arms, and I had to stop doing it because there's like a really high chance you get cancer from it. And my mind was all fucked up. Immediately, I pretty much, probably 2 or 3 weeks after this all happened, I just dead on stopped doing, I stopped doing weed completely. I stopped smoking weed, I stopped smoking marijuana completely, and I still drank every now and then, but I had to cut back a lot. This was something that I had to deal with for a couple of years of my life, just realizing that, you know, I did something to my body that I was not happy with, and it was just like some horrible fucking decision I made. And in the moment, it was very, very, very difficult. I would come home every single day, pretty much have anxiety attacks almost every single day, just be throwing up in my house. It just felt awful, and I do remember sitting there at one point. I do remember sitting there at one point, thinking that, you know, like, you know, is life worth going on? And I pretty much immediately said yes. But I did think about it. I did think about it. There was a moment where I was like, is life worth going on? Is life worth continuing? And I said yes. I did say yes. There was never like a moment of doubt after I thought about it. But I was just going to have to make it through this tough time. I was going to have to make it through this tough period. My family was very supportive during the whole time, but they didn't really understand what was going on. I just completely lied to them. I pretty much just told them that I burned it in a kitchen thing. I just lied because I didn't want them to know. I ended up going and seeing like a therapist, I guess somewhere down the road or whatever, my junior year or whatever. And just about right around the time where I started working through it, I started talking about, you know, it was okay, it started healing, the wound started healing or whatever. I pretty much had a traumatic experience with this whole thing going on. And it's like, to this day, I'm very, very anxious being around like drugs and alcohol. It's like very, A lot of times extremely uncomfortable for me, to the point where it's like some sort of like PTSD. Anyways, I was able to get through that. I was able to get through that that whole bump basically, but I was not able to do it like in a social way. Like my whole social life, going to school, everything with that, I was so anxious and paranoid the whole time. I could never like tell people what was going on. I was just living in I put myself in a closet because I didn't want to tell people what happened. I didn't want to let people into my world because I couldn't even believe what I had done to myself. And I didn't want to let people into my world. I didn't want to tell people about it. I was so afraid and anxious of like what people thought, and like I was so disgusted with myself as a person and as a human being that I even like, how did I even remotely put myself in a situation where I thought that was like a good idea? And I was disgusted, so I just I guess tying the circle back a little bit here, I've been playing World of Warcraft for 12 years, so a long time before this happened. But when this all happened to me, I pretty much became isolated. I'd go to school, I'd come home, and I'd play World of Warcraft for like 10 hours a day. And I played WoW way more because I didn't like going outside. I didn't like telling people what was wrong with my arm. I didn't like telling people what I'd done and like everything that I'd been through. It was extremely uncomfortable for me, and I didn't even know how to answer that question myself yet at the time. And I've just recently have been able to start being okay with that and talking with people about it, because I am okay with it now. But it's something that I guess have not told you guys because I've not been comfortable up until this point talking about it on a public platform, because obviously it's not something that's comfortable to talk about. So I played WoW an inordinate amount. I played in the 19 XP off the twinking scene in World of Warcraft. And I made a lot of really good friends to this day that I would say I'm better friends with than most people that I know on a day-to-day basis, outside of one person that I know, and his name is Michael. And you know, really I always loved gaming, but it really was there to support me when I was going through the atrocities in my life, and people didn't even know it, because I didn't really tell people about it either. But I ended up playing, meeting a bunch of people around the world, having such a great experience during that, and it gave me this world outside of a day-to-day life where I had something I was excited to do. I had something with people that supported me. I had people that liked me for me and didn't judge or like do anything malicious to be fucking dickheads about the choices that I made, just being cliche fuckheads with drug problems or whatever. And really, I guess at the end of the day, most people didn't even know that it was to that extent. So, almost out of my own safety, or their lack of knowledge, like it ended up being like that kind of situation either. But I've gone and I've talked to a lot of people from WoW about this, and they've all been very supportive. And they're all, I would consider, good friends of mine. So my junior year kind of rolls around, and I'm still like in this fog. I've told you guys before I was on medicine. I don't even remember what it was called at this point. I really have no fucking idea. I was prescribed with pretty heavy anxiety, depression medicine, prescription or whatnot, that I had to go around on a daily basis, and it basically just cut my emotion off almost completely. And I would just walk around like in a cloud, like I was in a cloud of emotion. I never really felt like really strong feelings. I never really could tell what was going on with other people. It was just like going through the motions. And then, like, if any of you guys have been on any sort of prescription like that, alcohol, drugs, or for anything else, or ADD, I don't know, you can probably understand or relate to that to some degree, where you're just walking through like this emotion cloud, and you don't really feel anything. You don't really live life. You're just living like you're like a zombie. You're a zombie walking around and going through the motions of life, but you're not actually experiencing it. I lived like that for probably a year, and I just couldn't take it anymore. And I told them, I'm like, I'm not going to do this. I can't do this anymore. I cannot physically, like, live my life being on this prescription. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. I already, like, did not like drugs. I did not like alcohol, and I couldn't do it. It was, like, cutting off my emotions. So, and this is when, still being on this medication, I would have, like, anxiety attacks, like, almost every day, at least every week, having these hurdles that I have to go through, already being on meds. And I just told myself, I'm like, I have to get off these meds. I cannot live my life like this. I do not want to live my life like this. And I got myself to the point where I started cutting back. I started taking half pills, and then I completely cut myself off. And that was a very difficult time period for me, because I had this cushion all the time where, like, your brain is, like, mentally blocked, where you don't feel emotion, you don't feel anything. And, like, when I started having the emotion come back, I had, like, horrible anxiety attacks. I had horrible repercussions of, like, dealing with that. But, like, I realized that, like, I'm not going to be able to get better as a person, like, being on drugs. I'm not going to be able to, for myself personally, it wasn't working. I had to actually work on it and talk about it. During this time as well, too, simultaneously, what's going on with my gaming world, I was doing podcasts with my friend Yubi, who I guess I met in Missa Pandaria. And, sorry. I'm only upset about that, because I haven't talked to him in a very, very long time. And Yubi was someone like family to me when I was going through all this. And he pretty much had my back no matter what. No matter what, he was there. And I was probably, with anyone that I played with on video games at that time, probably the most open about what I was going through with him. And he was always very supportive of what I was doing. He was the one that I would talk to him a lot on Skype and whatnot. We would talk about basketball, we would talk about 19s, we'd talk about World of Warcraft, and we were just like, one day he was starting a podcasting. He was starting Biss Nation. What was Biss Nation, if you guys remember that? For World of Warcraft podcast. And, you know, he just asked me one day, he's like, you know what, I love talking with you, you love talking a lot, like, why don't you decide to make a podcast? Why don't we do a podcast together and talk about it? And I guess that I had so little confidence, and I care so much about what other people thought about me, that I didn't want to do it. I just didn't have any confidence. And then he talked me into doing it, which was really probably one of the greatest things that's happened to me in my life so far, because it really opened up the window for me doing a lot of other things in my life, really up until this point, you know, continuing into streaming. But we ended up doing podcasts for, like, we did like 120 some episodes. Almost all of them were over 45 minutes long, some going up to 2 hours. Every single week we'd just sit there and talk. This was something that went through my junior year, senior year of high school, and probably a little continuage over that. And I guess I just have him to thank, because he was kind of the person that got me into all this. And it sounds really silly, but you know, it's crazy how many people over the internet have had a massive impact on my life. And I guess Yubi's at the forefront, and well, I hope I get to talk to him sometime soon, because I haven't talked to him in a really long time, and we didn't end on great terms. He was also the one that encouraged me to start streaming back when I was playing as well too. And this was back when I streamed on my old channel, when I played on, you know, whatever the fuck it was called, like HB Fearthebuns 20 or whatever it was. Back on my old channel on Twitch, like back in Miss Pandaria, which had to be like my junior year of high school as well too. And Yubi would sit on there on his channel every single day. He'd come in, and even if he was the only person watching, he would be in there every single day and talk to me every single day and was supportive. Pretty much when no one else necessarily understood what was going on in my life or backed me up. Yubi was there. And I'm only emotional about it because it's such a positive thing for me. I've never really talked about it outwardly, how much it means to me, but I just want to thank Yubi for helping me get to this point. Because I probably wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for him having my back. Anyways, I guess I continued on. I started streaming. Streaming went very well for me. It really took off, and it was something that every single day that I had something that I looked forward to doing, when pretty much my entire life was horrible. It was miserable. I hated it. And like I said earlier, I never hated it to the point where like I considered like, you know, taking my own life or ending my own life, but I just wanted to get out of the cycle, and Yubi was the first person that really helped me steer back and realize my potential and things that I would like doing and things that I would like being involved in. And he kind of just opened windows and doors to me that I didn't even realize that I was interested in and were there. So I managed to get through my junior year of high school or whatnot, in my first half of senior year of high school, and I was getting a lot better. I was feeling a lot better. I had something going on for me that was really positive. And then I've told a lot of you guys, I think it was my senior year of high school. I don't know if that timetable checks out right, but my senior year of high school, my dad had multiple massive strokes over the winter of high school. And that was another thing where it just happened very randomly. My dad had this issue going on where he would just pass out all the time, where he would pass out for like 10 seconds or so. Like literally we would just be sitting around and he would pass out and like be on the floor. Like when my uncle's over, he would pass out. And he would land on the floor and we wouldn't understand what was going on. Or he was driving a semi-truck one time and passed out driving a semi-truck on the highway. And he managed to get over to the side before he passed out. And they couldn't figure out what it was, because my dad has a pretty rare blood disease that I don't even know what the fuck it's called at this point. I really don't know. He ended up having a massive stroke and had to get sent to the hospital. And he was doing okay and he was recovering while he was there, but they didn't have like the right treatment at the hospital that we went to, and he ended up having another just massive stroke, and he had to get rushed to Loyola Hospital, which is like probably like the biggest hospital in the Chicagoland area here. And while this was going on, to be really honest with you, I had already had so much other shit going on in my life that I'd already been through all this shit that I was just like, fuck it. Like, I don't even mean that to say, like, to be funny, but I was just like I was so numb to everything already that it was just like, it didn't surprise me that something like this happened. He was already passing out all the time, like almost once a month, and we didn't know why. And then when this happened, I was so numb to everything that had gone on in my life that when it happened, I wasn't freaking out. I was very, very much like objective about it, very much fine. And to be honest with you guys, I probably had to hold the rock down at our house emotionally, because my mom was very emotional. Not that my mom is a bad person, because my mom's had my back through this pretty much since day one as well too. My mom's had my back, and everyone in my family's been extremely supportive. My brother, who's sitting over here while I'm talking with you guys about this, my dad, even though at this point he doesn't really understand to the degree what I've been going through, and he doesn't remember a lot of the stuff that happened beforehand. But during this whole time, I pretty much had to be emotionless because everyone else in my house was full of emotion, and someone had to hold people down. So I pretty much just manned up, and I tanked it. And it'd be nights where people would come home, and we didn't know if he was going to be alive the next day. My mom was staying overnight at the hospital. We were staying there for like multiple hours a day. I didn't care at all about I didn't care at all about what was going on at school. I didn't. I'm fine. I'm fine. I just want to talk about this. This is something that I wanted to get off my mind and talk about for a very long time. I told Pierce about it. And I want people to know my story. I want people to know my story so they understand where I'm coming from and why I'm going to be doing this to help build myself as a person.
But I understand your story.
I know.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I just said that's fine.
No, I just heard you upstairs. I wanted to come down and make sure you were okay.
I'm fine. I'm just talking through it.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm fine. Thank you.
Right.
As I just said, my mom's always there to support me. I didn't really know. I didn't really know what was going to happen the next day. I just decided I was just going to be the emotional rock and be like lifeless pretty much to this whole thing and try to go through it. But eventually it caught up to me. And it's obviously caught up to our family because we can't live in our house anymore. We're desperately trying to sell the house, and we have to get money off the house. My dad's never going to work another day in his life. That's not his fault. It's just the situation of what it is. So there's a lot of pressure on us to sell our house. Even though my mom has a job, we're not going to be coming anywhere close to being able to pay off this house. We've been very fortunate. I live in a very nice house. But just not something that's realistic. And it was something that was even like borderline realistic even when my dad was like working. Because of everything that happened with the economy. So I guess that as a person, I had so many things in my life go just completely out of control and have so many curveballs thrown at me that I would have never expected in my wildest dreams to have been dealing with, some of which I inflicted upon myself inadvertently, some of which that just came out of nowhere, and some of which I just made bad decisions. And I pretty much got to a point where my life was like out of orbit. I was just spinning all over the place, that to be able to get back into having some sense of normality and some sense of whatever, that's where streaming came in for me really huge. Well, it's something that I could do on a day-to-day basis, that I would feel good about, where the podcast made me feel very good about myself and having something that I felt like I was doing, and then having friends and people that I could play with on World of Warcraft, and people that I really like to this day, was something that was pretty huge for me, one that was pretty much absent from my day-to-day life around school, outside of a couple of friends. And to be really honest with you, I mean, that's almost on me at some point too. That's almost on me, because I wasn't comfortable talking with people about it. Like, obviously you guys can see it's not something I'm comfortable talking about, but I want to get it out and talk about it, because I want you guys to understand my background and understand my story and have the perspective of why it's difficult for me, why I have such a hard time dealing with it, and understanding the reasoning. And it helps me to talk this stuff out. Like I tell you guys, I go see a therapist. Well, I did go see a therapist every week. I now see her every other week. I'm going later today to go see her. She's a wonderful person. Her name's April. She's been extremely supportive of me this whole time, on top of everyone else. And for me to be able to go see a therapist is what I need to do, instead of be able to, to be on drugs, because I don't want to be on drugs. I don't want to be on any pills. I don't want to be on anything like that. It just really kind of like eats me alive personally, and I don't want that. So talking with people helps me, and that's one of the reasons why I really like streaming, and I try to be honest and talk about a lot of things. And I've told probably like 2/3 of the story to you guys before, for people that have been around the stream for a long time. I've just never told like the full thing out. Anyways, so I guess getting to like the point of the problem, I dealt with my situation. I pretty much, my brain like went into some like chaotic, out of orbit spin mode, and like to be able to get back in orbit, I had to have a very controlled life and like have things going on like a very certain way. So you could see why streaming and like playing video games in my attic, being like very sheltered, was something that I could like slowly work myself into and do that and like feel good about it. But like as of recently, like, and I've known this for a while now, it's like that's not like something I can continue doing and like grow as a person and put myself back out there, because I have like I very much struggle with going outside and doing very daily things. Like I was telling you guys at the very beginning today, it's like even going to things like going to see a movie or something like that, like I have horrible anxiety, and I have like physical symptoms that are just like almost unbearable to deal with when they're at their worst, where my whole arms will basically just go numb, my heart races, and it basically feels like you like are having like a heart attack. It's horrible, and it's the fear of having that feeling, the fear of having that feeling, the fear of having anxiety attacks, the fear of what other people think of me, the fear of having like anticipatory anxiety, and like your brain, before you even go and do something, like telling you, like you trick yourself into thinking that things are going to play out a certain way, and you don't want to do it like that. So like I said at the beginning, like this is like so silly, but like unfortunately we live in a really fucked up world in the 21st century. Like sometimes like I'll go to like a movie theater and I'll be like, what if this place gets fucking shot up? Like, you just think about worst case scenarios, and I know to some of you guys that sounds really silly, but for me it's something that is a real, it's all about perspective, and for me it is something that is very real. And I guess I've just got to this point though where I'm really happy that I played WoW, and I'm really happy that all of this stuff happened to me, because it's made me a person that today I'm proud of being. I feel like I'm a very good leader. I feel like I can be very objective about things. I feel that I've grown my streaming personality. I'm a lot more comfortable talking with people. I feel like I put a lot more work into things now that I'm passionate about, rather than just being lazy and sitting back. But I also realize and reflect at the same time too that this is within like a controlled and confined environment, and I want to continue pushing myself to grow as a person and take on things that may be kind of menial or like silly to you guys, but like for instance, like I didn't even like going and running outside because I didn't like going outside. Like, just that simple. I didn't like going outside, because I was so paranoid of what could happen, like from like, just people around here like judging me or looking at me. Like, and I know it sounds really stupid. When I say it out loud, it sounds so stupid, but it's like one of those things where it's like, maybe some of you guys have dealt with this in some degree, but I think you can understand after I've told my story why I feel that way. It's like, it's not a great feeling to go up and tell someone you have a lighter burn on your arm. It's not a great feeling to go and tell someone like that, all this background story. So I just feel like I have a lot of baggage, but I've come to kind of realize that the baggage that I've had to deal with has helped me shape me into the person that I am today, and I am proud of the person that I am today. So I guess it was just the path of events that took me to hit a point where I either decided I was going to break or I was going to adapt, and I got to that point. I was able to adapt. But I'm now at a point again in my life where I want to continue going outside and growing as a person. I want to continue doing things I want to do and not do them based on the fact that I'm scared. Not do them based on the fact that some stupid fucking thing that I come up with in my head is going to happen. Have the confidence to go out and talk with people about things I like doing. Have the confidence to go out and talk about things with other people too, because I realize at the same time, I mean, this is my own journey, my own experience as well too. But I feel that even though everyone's journey and path in life is unique, that I can help other people as well too by being open about what I told you guys today and what I guess I'm continuing on to talk about today, because you guys probably have something in your life or know someone in your life that deals with anxiety or maybe other symptoms or other problems or your own adversity or your own hurdles, and I think that just being open about these things I know it's helpful for myself to come out and talk about them. It just helps me. I vent. Talking is very helpful for me, and that's why streaming has been such an important thing in my life. But I think it's also helpful for other people as well too, because I know that I'll watch streams, I'll watch other people, and like someone will say something that clicks with me, and I'm like, you know what? I feel like I learned something vicariously through this other person's like experiences and whatnot. So I think that there's something to get out of it. So I guess getting to the point, I wanted to bring this up in the beginning because this is why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I want to grow as a person. I'm doing it because of my background and that I've been pretty much living in my attic for like 3 years. And I don't go outside that much. I've been trying to get myself more recently, as you guys have seen, to go outside, do a little exercise, go get food, just go hang out, just do things, drive around a little bit. But I want to continue doing that. I don't want to sit here and live the rest of my life saying, oh, I regret that I didn't do this. I regret that I didn't do that. I regret that I didn't talk to this person. I regret that, I don't want to live my life with regret. I don't want to live my life feeling like I wasted the opportunity and prime of my life sitting around feeling bad for myself. I genuinely don't. I do not like feeling bad. And today was a really big obstacle and hurdle that I personally wanted to get out of the way, and I knew that I would not be able to feel good about myself until I got it out of the way and talked about it as to why I'm starting all this. So the reason that I've always had that I never really liked going outside, and this isn't a joke, and I still feel this way to this day, is I don't like going outside because I don't have that much I'm interested in doing. So, I've you guys have been hearing me talk on stream, and this is honestly the truth. The last couple weeks, I haven't had a game that I really like playing that much. I really don't like playing games all that much, and it dawned on me, I've been playing World of Warcraft for 12 years. WoW fucking sucks, and it's really a shame. It really is a shame. But the funny thing is we never play WoW, or I guess I'll speak for myself. I never really played WoW. After you play a game for like a year and you get to that point where you just like the game, you don't play the game because of the game. You play the game because of the people you met in the game, and I realized that. But I already knew all the people that played in 19s. I knew the people that played in XP off. And I realized that I wasn't going to be able to grow myself as a person by staying inside, just doing that forever. Sorry, I lost my track like a little bit here, but that's still a good thought to get out. I guess realizing that, I realized I didn't like playing WoW. I didn't like playing the game. And the more and more, I don't like playing games in general, the more and more I kept realizing it. When I took a break from WoW and played H1Z1 for a little while, came back to WoW, I just don't like playing games that much, and I realized that that's not the stimulation I need in life anymore. The stimulation that I need in life is going outside, doing things that are bigger than just being in my attic. That's not really, like, at the same time, too, it's not like I literally am looking up at my fucking attic. It's not to say that I've had, I guess, gaming in my attic and streaming and podcasting and having this show, they're all good things that have happened in my life, but at the same time, too, it's kind of understanding when you need to take the next step, and I realized that the next step, what I like playing WoW for, what I like streaming for, is the social environment. I like it for talking with people, I like it for having my own thing going on, whether it's like ego-based, whether it's feeling like I have a sense of direction, something that I love doing, having self-worth doing it. And I love the idea of streaming where it's like you can do whatever you want to do, you can shape your own world, you can shape whatever you want to do. I love that. And that's a pretty unique experience too, streaming, online gaming and whatnot. And I guess I just realized a couple weeks ago, I was talking this on stream, is that I really don't like playing games anymore. I really just genuinely don't. I like talking with people, I like fucking around and dancing and singing and doing all these other things, and I realized that it had nothing to do with gaming. That all the shit that I like doing on the computer, I didn't like playing, I didn't like gaming anymore. And for those of you guys that are from 19s, and WoW specifically, because I know some of you guys are probably from the IRL section, but I'll take a minute to talk about this. The reason why I don't like pre-mating is because it feeds the demons that I'm trying to fight right now for myself. And that is that I'm like a control freak, and I like having like absolute control over things. The reason why I don't like pre-mating, the reason why I stopped playing 10v10s, and I was so burnt after playing the Twin Cup, is that there was just no way we were going to lose. There was no way we were going to lose last year because of how much time, how much work, how much mental, everything that we put into it. There was no way we were going to lose, but at the same time, it mentally destroyed me. It like mentally just burnt me down into like this ground where I'm just like, I can't do that again. I cannot do that again. And and it's like every time that I play, it's like, not that I can't lose. I don't like care if I'm playing like games like just fucking around, but like I just can't put that much effort into feeding these demons that I'm trying to get better at, where it's like having control and everything in your life. I can't feed that demon where it's like, that's not how life works. It's like you can't, I know this objectively, but it's really hard when you think about it like in your own personal agenda, right? It's like you can't control everything. You can't control other people. You can't control what's going to happen. Like sometimes you got to go with the tide, and it's like, man, it's like very difficult to do that and play World of Warcraft and like be competitive and not have that feeling. So that's why I've taken a step back from playing 19s, and I don't enjoy it that much because it's just so much mental hurdles to go through that it's exhausting. I thought I would get that out there because I don't think people really understood why it was such a demon to me to try to do that. So I'll talk about where we are now, I guess. And this is really where we are now. I don't know where we're going to be tomorrow. I don't know where we're going to be the next day. This is where I am now, and this is how I feel about it right now. I like the idea of video logging. It's going to get me outside. It's going to get me doing things outside. It's going to get me talking to more people. It's going to get me involved with doing things that I would enjoy doing and having a purpose doing, and feel like that I could take people on my journey and talk about it kind of openly like I did today. And obviously this is definitely, today was definitely very difficult for me to talk about because it was stuff that I feel very strongly about. It was stuff that
to some degree, I guess, disclosed information, I guess a good way to say it. I didn't lie to anyone, I just didn't tell it to the extent that it really meant to me. So you guys just had a lack of information, but, I mean, going into the future, I want to have fun, you know what I mean? I don't want to sit here and feel bad. So it's like, I want to go outside, I want to do things that I enjoy, I want to try different things out. Anything from just going around, riding a bike, learning guitar, going out, talking to people, going to maybe the city, going to like the zoo, have different stuff planned out. Last night I was thinking about making like t-shirts or whatnot. I didn't really like fully go around onto it, but I was thinking about making like tie-dye t-shirts that, I'm sorry, I have to check what time it is. Thinking about making tie-dye t-shirts and like make like a little logo and put on it, and if like people came out and found me like while I was streaming or whatnot, like while I was doing my live video logs, that you would get a free t-shirt or whatever. Like I just carry them around with me and shit. Things like that. I was just already planning on it. I like the idea of it a lot too, because like I genuinely just don't give a fuck to go outside, like if I don't have a purpose to go outside. So I think having a purpose to go outside is like great. I think that's a great thing. I love having something going on in my life that feels bigger than myself. I love having something that I can work on. So I love the 2 and 2 combination there. And I think it will encourage me to push myself forward in that regard as well too. So I don't really know where we're going to go with that. I have a bunch of different things planned. It's going to be getting over little obstacles first, and then tackling bigger and bigger and bigger obstacles, and hopefully to the point where I get to try out and do a lot of things that I've held myself back doing because of fear, because of what could happen, because of myself not being comfortable in situations, and try to just tackle that more and more and more to the point where I'm comfortable doing that and can enjoy life and can, go to my bed or whatnot and sleep and like wake up and feel good the next day. Because I just have not been feeling good. It really came back to that, what I told you guys at the beginning. I just have been feeling shitty every single day, waking up, feeling like this. And I realized that this was something that I had to get off my chest to tell you guys about, so that you guys got the full picture of what has been going on in my life behind the scenes, so you guys get a little bit better understanding about me and why I want to try out video logging and see how much I like it, because I think it's going to help me grow as a person and maybe put me into some situations that are uncomfortable at first. But sometimes uncomfortable is good, because you need uncomfortable to change, like, and put yourself in experiences that you wouldn't have had. So that's what I'm working on. I appreciate all you guys being here. I have not read a single message in chat. I had chat turned off the entire time, because I did not want to read anything until I was completely done saying everything that was on my mind. I don't think I missed anything at this point, but I'm going to think about it again before I turn everything back on. I guess, like, as a final note, like I said this morning, I was up for like 3 hours. I felt nauseous, I felt horrible, and I was pacing around for like 2 hours debating on whether or not I actually wanted to talk about this today and talk about this video. And I realized that if I'm spending so much time thinking about talking about it, if it really means that much to me, then it's absolutely worth talking about. If I care about it that much, then it is absolutely worth talking about, even if it's difficult to. And really, at the end of the day, it's good for me, because I feel better about it after talking about it and having it out there in the open, because it lets you guys into my life. And even though it's uncomfortable to put it out there, I guess, at first, it's going to be easier, and you guys will have a better understanding now that it's out there of what my life is and my perspective. So I'll just be feeling a little bit better about that as well too. I guess a big thank you for everyone that came in and listened. I'm going to turn chat on here in a second, and I want to thank Pierce. It's my brother Pierce. I told him this when my mom and dad weren't home. My mom had to take my dad to the hospital today. It wasn't anything serious. We just had to do some like blood work tests, whatever. And I talked to Pierce about this, and he didn't understand the full story either too. He probably knew maybe like 80% of it, but I don't think he understood to the degree what was going on with the drug problem in my life. I appreciate him being here. I guess going into the future as well too, when we're doing these vlogs and whatnot, I'm going to try to get other people in my life involved with what we're doing as well too, so I know probably from time to time you'll probably see Pierce in some of my vlogs. He may help, he may just come with me, he may do camera for some stuff when we go to places. I'm going to ask my buddy Michael if he's interested in doing some of this stuff. He's not really as involved with stuff going on the internet as much, so I don't know if he's going to be as interested, and at the end of the day, that's fine if he's not. But I am going to ask him if he wants to be involved with that as well too, and hopefully at points in time I'll be able to be involved with some of you guys as well too. Wherever it is, wherever I go, wherever we're doing or whatnot, and having other people involved as well too, because I just realized at the end of the day that I just need more people in my life, and I want to have a more outgoing experience in my life and not feel so sheltered and like afraid to do things just for the sake of like being a bitch, really, at the end of the day. Okay, I'm gonna turn on chat, guys. Okay. Alright. I turned on chat, guys. Thank you for, I really appreciate you guys listening and, being supportive and whatnot. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I see you guys. I appreciate it, man. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys being supportive. Don't cry, man. I've been crying this whole time, man. It just is what it is, man. I just feel strongly about it. I know you guys are just being nice people and being supportive. I just feel strongly about it. I'm okay. I'm all right, Lisa. Thanks. This is just something I wanted to get off my chest. Because like I said, it just needed to happen. I didn't feel good about it, and after I talked to Pierce about it today, I said, like, I don't think I can go another day sitting there, like, after how much time I thought about it today, to not come out and talk about it today. Like, if I would have gone another day with that eating me alive, like, I would have just been, like, going, like, out of my mind, like, fucking, like, insane, so, I just wanted to come out and talk about it, or whatnot. Don't cry, okay? I'm fine. I'm good, man. I'm at my house. I'm chilling. My mom and dad just came, like, home during the middle of it or whatever. To be honest with you guys, I wasn't planning on doing that long of a stream today. Oh my god, you guys are fucking trolls, man. I wasn't planning on doing a very long stream today. I really just want to come out and talk about this a little bit. All I've eaten today is a banana. I just had something so that I had, like, enough energy or whatever. But I'm probably going to wrap up here in a couple minutes and just go get some food, shower, eat, and I'm going to go see April today. But I guess, like, something that we could talk about is that I was talking about this a little bit yesterday when we did our stream yesterday, which ended up being a lot of fun. I guess last night I got the first vlog up yesterday. If you guys haven't already, here's the game plan, I guess, right now with the vlogs and how this is all going to go. I'm going to live stream everything, so I'm going to live stream it on Twitch, and we'll have vlog highlight videos going up on the YouTube channel. We're going to be doing different stuff every day. Like I said, it could be one day I'm just playing guitar, it could be hanging out with family, another day I could be going out and doing something different. I want to do things for myself and grow as a person, and that is different obstacles that aren't necessarily, all for entertainment. It's also for me growing as a person. And I guess really at the core of the day, I want to be myself doing it. So if I'm myself doing it and I'm happy with myself, then I'll be happy with the outcome of wherever this goes. If you guys think of any cool ideas, I'm more than happy. You should just put them in chat. If you guys have any ideas about stuff we could do, doesn't have to be crazy. Like I said, I'm just thinking of ideas right now, just kind of brainstorming and whatnot. But basically how I'm going to do it is I am going to do it like a video log kind of a style thing where it's like, even though like the YouTube stuff will probably be more condensed, like I'll probably go through my whole day, as much as I can battery-wise doing whatever I'm doing. So like no troll, like me taking a shower the other day, I'd probably take a shower, I'd probably eat. We can make food some days, like, you know, I gotta see like time-wise and video-wise, how much time it would take, like battery-wise, how much time everything clocks out to, because I've been streaming now for like a little over an hour, and it's taken like 40%, no, probably like 25% battery, which is pretty good, to be honest with you. Streaming for an hour, 25% battery, that's pretty good. So I gotta make sure I have enough time to do things. I just ordered a selfie stick yesterday. It should be here by tomorrow. I have battery things in my house. I have to find them for like battery chargers that I can use on the go. And think about getting a backpack and everything, so like the whole setup and everything, etc. and whatnot. Get a Patreon. I don't... Patreon, isn't that like a fucking like photo thing? I don't know, boys. Do we look good enough to make money off photos? I'm also thinking about... the other thing I'm going to do as well, too, I don't know how much of this I'm going to actually do on video, though. Maybe I'll do, like... Probably not something that I would do every day, but I am going to start running and exercising a little bit more, but it's probably not something that I would put in, like, a video, like, routine kind of a thing, but, like, maybe I would do it as, like, a video every now and then. And I'm not trying to get, like, fucking huge. I'm just trying to get swole. You know, you feel me? I'm just trying to get, work out, like, a little bit. Just so I generally feel better. Get my appetite up more. And, like, be, just a little bit, like, more physically fit. Like, I weigh, like, nothing. I weigh, like, I'm not even kidding you guys. I weigh, like, 115 pounds. I weigh, like, nothing. And even though, like, at the most I think I've ever weighed in my life was, like, probably 128. Like, that's still, like, really, like... that's really small, and I want to feel a little bit better, and I think that'll be good. They are hurting, man. They are. My fucking wrist has like been cocked back for a while. I should hold it a different way. That's probably better. Yeah, I think going to the gym's nice. You know, honestly, Dak, the thing that I've really been enjoying a lot, the really cool thing is about the whole like gym situation. I actually have a nice we have a really nice Bowflex thing downstairs, and like if I go out running, I actually just love running outside. It's so nice. It's been so nice out here that I've just been like running outside. Like I actually would prefer running outside as opposed to just like buying a membership to a gym. Not to say that like the social experience couldn't be cool. So like maybe I would get into it for like the sake of that, but is she okay? Okay. Okay. Wait, make sure your car's not, because I have to go. Okay. Alright. What'd she say? Okay. Alright. Your brother is a gym fanatic? Oh shit, that's cool. Okay. Okay. But yeah, that's I don't know, that's basically where I'm at, guys. Running in a gym is so fucking awkward. I've never actually been to a public gym before. I wouldn't mind doing it. Like maybe I would do it, but I have a really nice Bowflex downstairs, and like I run outside. Maybe like I was thinking about like maybe I would do a gym stream, but it's not something that I'm planning on doing like on a daily routine kind of a thing. I don't even think I would work out on a daily routine, just a couple times a week. But like maybe I'd do a video here and there, because I just think it would be fucking annoying to watch someone like do that on a day-to-day basis. Like, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes with it, but it's not something I'm planning on doing right now on a day-to-day basis. Hey Meza, how's it going, man? Sharded in his last gym visit. Lol. You know, the last time I sharded my pants was actually over behind that house over there, that greenhouse, in a bush, dude. Someone scared me. Someone scared me and I sharded my pants. True story. I was like 10, and then I fell in a rose bush. Sharded my pants and then fell in a rose bush. Fucking A. That was not fun. That was not a fun day. The bath afterwards did not fucking feel good. I'll tell you that much. That was not good, dude. Maybe you can do live streams and I can stream snipe you. Yeah, that's what I'm basically planning on doing right now. That's my plan right now. And I guess this is a final note as well, too, guys. I'll probably still be playing video games a little bit too, but it's something where it's like I'd like to be at the point where it's like if I stream 7 days a week, like then I'm going out 5 of those days. and maybe even more. Like, if I really, really enjoy it, I'd go for 7. If it's something where it's like I'm just getting exhausted, it's not like I hate playing video games. I just want to have other areas in my life too. So, you know, I'd probably come back, play WoW, play different video games, a little bit of variety as well too. So it'll be a mix of the two as well too, which is not something that I got around to talking to. Which is something that right now, that's how I'm looking at it right now. If I really end up enjoying this experience, I'll probably push more towards 7 days a week going out and doing stuff. But there'll definitely be times where I'll like fuck around and play video games too, because I like playing video games. I also like, I'll probably try out playing different videos, games as well too. There we go. There we go. If you have delay on the video, guys, just hit refresh. Refresh fixes it. It's a Twitch side thing. Buns, help me, please. I don't even know who you are. Sorry. Good luck with that, whatever you need help with. Anyways, guys, lol. Okay, nice, Quack. That's good. You fucking troll, dude. Alright, well, like I said, thank you guys very much for hearing me out today. It seriously means a lot. I have a hard time, like, looking in the camera and shit. I just feel fucking weird doing it. But it does mean a lot to me. Thank you guys for being here and being supportive. And also thank you for understanding why I didn't have chat open as well too, because a lot of times I have a hard time getting through what I want to talk about if I open up chat, and I just wanted to do it all in one run. So if you guys said stuff during all that run, I didn't see it, but I appreciate it a lot, you guys listening or whatnot. But I am gonna take off here. I'm gonna go and get some food and shower and whatnot. But I appreciate it, guys. Like I said, this is going to be something that we're going to do live on Twitch, and I want to have uploaded onto YouTube, and we'll get, like, a lot of the vlogs up onto YouTube, get them up there in, like, condensed versions. Right now, at this point, I'm editing all this stuff by myself. I guess up until a point where that changes, I will be doing that. I'll be editing the videos, which is difficult for me because it takes like 3 to 4 hours, and I don't know what I'm doing that much, but I've been able to do it like well enough. I put up the first video last night. If you guys haven't checked it out, you should check it out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel because I'm going to be posting a lot of stuff up on there. It'll be a crossover between the two, and that's what I'm planning right now. I mean, we'll see how things go. We'll see where everything goes. Appreciate the necks on the stream, boys. I appreciate it. Buns neck, boys. Well, it's trained today. Shower feels bad, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go, guys. I'm pretty like mentally exhausted after doing that today. I'm gonna get some food and whatnot, get shower and clean up for the rest of the day. Okay, but thank you guys. Hearts in the chat. I appreciate you guys being here, and thank you as well too for Pierce. He's been sitting out here the whole time with me, hanging out. I appreciate it. It's nice having people that are like supportive of what you're doing, you know, through thick and through thin. So I very much appreciate it. But I'm gonna take off. All right, guys. Oh, I'm like an old man, dude. Okay. Goodbye, guys. Have a great day. I'll plan on me streaming tomorrow. Plan on me streaming tomorrow in the afternoon. I have no fucking idea what we're gonna do. Not a clue. Maybe I'll have a better idea later in the day. I'll post if I think of something. I may not. I'll catch you guys there, though, okay? Goodbye. Peace.